Hey, what is going on, everyone, and welcome to the Scarlet Spider Fresh Horizons event video. Yes, it's finally upon us on Friday, and actually confirmed to be so because I wasn't actually sure if the event was going to be coming on Friday or if it was going to get pushed back because, you know, the Ghost Spider Blitz, which is also coming on Thursday, was pushed back from its original date. But no, it is confirmed that it is on Friday. That's when it's going to be launching at store reset time. So in this video, we're going to be going over the milestone that is involved in this event. We're also going to be going over the math related to the milestone, and then we're going to be talking about Pocket Dimensions, talk about the rewards in Pocket Dimensions as it relates to Scarlet Spider. We're not going to be going over, you know, details about the Resolute trait, things like that. I have actually done that in previous videos, so do check that out in the comments in the description down below to get a link to that video. If you haven't checked that out already, this will not be a Resolute video. It'll just be talking about Pocket Dimensions more broadly and what we're going to get about Scarlet Spider. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road. So, first things first, if you haven't been into the Events tab window, you can find the details of the Fresh Horizons event here, and you'll see that it starts at Friday at store reset time. You can click the eye, and it gives you a little bit more detail on what to expect for this. Now, we kind of knew a little bit about it, you know, before the new year, things like that. It turns out that, you know, it's not just for leveling up characters, it's also going to be energy spent. We're going to be talking about the campaign energy specifically. We're going to talk about that once we get into the math, and because I've included that in terms of the calculations in terms of what you need to do as well. So we have this New Heights milestone. Now this is a 14-day milestone from Friday, and you basically get points for spending any training modules and for spending campaign energy. So don't be concerned actually if you don't have a ton of training modules and you didn't save, even though, you know, everyone was basically saying to do that. You don't actually need to spend too much, but yeah, if you haven't actually saved a lot of it, don't worry, because the campaign energy will cover a lot of the initial sort of milestone rankings for this event, so it's not too bad there. Also coming is Pocket Dimension, but that's not this Friday. It's actually the following Friday, so it's going to be Friday, January the 14th, where that's going to actually be launching. So I know I can't see this on the side of my frame here, but Friday, January the 14th, mark your calendar for that, because that's going to be Pocket Dimension going live. Now, because Fresh Horizons is a 14-day event, my assumption, and I don't know if this is 100% confirmed, but my assumption is that Pocket Dimension is only going to last for 7 days. It's going to last, you know, because this is launching about halfway through the event, and my guess is it lasts until the end of the event. So 7 days that you'll have to clear Pocket Dimension twice. We're going to get to that towards the later part of the video, where we're going to be looking at the lanes, the map, and the rewards that you get for that. And yeah, there's going to be this Resolute orb also available, but I probably wouldn't recommend doing this. I don't even know if this contains Scarlet Spider, but Scarlet Spider's orb for 675 cores is already there anyways, so if you need shards for him, I would probably just do that or just buy an offer. But if you're trying to go free, then just buy his regular orb, I guess, like I did. So we're gonna hit the go button anyways, because it'll bring you to the New Heights milestone that you can preview, which is great that they make this available for us. And you can actually click on the scoring, and it kind of gives you a breakdown of how you're going to score for this event anyways. So you can see that depending on, and for those who don't know, L1, L2, L3, that's basically like green, blue, purple, orange, and then you get all the points there. We're going to take a look at the math more specifically though, and spend 1 campaign energy, you get 2 points, so 1 to 2 on the energy, so that's really good there. And you just get like basically a lot of newbie stuff, to be honest, which is fine for newer players. You get Scarlet Spider shards, you get some blue ability material, which is fine for my baby account, things like that, some purple, some gold orb fragments. It's actually nothing too crazy in here. A lot of the rewards are pretty minor, and it kind of jumps around with the shards. It goes like, you know, you can see here that it goes like 8, 3, 8, and then 3, 3, 3. And by the time you get to here, milestone 17, 19,200 points, this is actually the cap for the shards, which is about 51 Scarlet Spider shards. So this will give you the bare unlock. And after that, it's just some extra stuff. And to be honest, even after that, it's nothing too crazy. It's like a little bit of gold orb fragments, a little bit of T4s, some random orbs, but it's nothing to shout home about. There is some teal ABCs in here. I don't know, 17, 24, 31, 43, 51, 59, just adding up here, like something like 83. I think I just counted 83 teal ABCs, which is okay. You know, as far as gold goes, that's actually a fair bit. It's 83 times 45k, whatever that happens to be. But, you know, the rest of the rewards is nothing crazy, you know, like for not finishing it. But we're going to talk about the math with regards to that, and I have that ready here. We're going to bring this up on the side. Hopefully my window looks okay. Okay, so this is the Scarlet Spider Fresh Horizons event milestone. Again, it's a 14-day event milestone, and this is just for people who maybe didn't watch my video. But total points required is 64,000, just to make sure. Yes, it is 64,000 here on milestone 30 to clear, and you get different points depending on what training mods you use, which I mentioned here. I also mentioned the gold cost for those of you who are unfamiliar. What's interesting is that the points actually add up to be the same, except for in the gold cost with the green training modules. Now, it's very minor, but, you know, to get 8 points, which is 4 green, it actually is a little bit more gold than the rest of them. So if you take that and times it by 4, it's actually 1,260 gold, not 1,250 gold. So what that means is, like, you're going to be paying a very, very minor amount of extra gold if all you're using is green mods. But otherwise, it's all the same. You know, blue, purple, and orange is the same. Green is the only one that's different, and the points actually add up the same as well, so it doesn't really matter too much there. It's all equivalent, except for green gold, you know. So I have 2 different scenarios here, because it depends on how much campaign energy that you're going to be spending. Now, regular players maybe only go to about 600 to make sure that you get the daily objective, and make sure you're giving your alliance, 600 raid keys, that kind of stuff. But some people who might be coring about 4 times 50 cores or 200 cores daily, might be pushing like the 1,000 range, because if you do core, that's an extra 480. I believe, without pulling out my other guides, which is my campaign event guides, you do get something around like 1,020 energy or something if you core 4 times a day. So that's why I have 600 energy and then 1,000 energy, 2 different scenarios depending on what you do yourself, or if you happen to be somewhere in the middle, then you can just take that number when we get down there, which would be around 800 energy. So you can see that if you do this, for 14 days, you get quite a bit of milestone points here. You get about 16,800 if you're doing 600 daily, and about 28,000 if you're doing 1,000 energy daily, which is quite a bit. So, because it's 2 to 1, or 1 energy is 2 points, so I calculated it here like that. So I have 2 different scenarios depending on which you do, the 600 energy or the 1,000 energy, and that gives you how much energy, how much points you need to do after you subtract that from the total score. And the amount of gold and training modules that you need to spend is a little bit different. I separated the green from everything else, just in case you're just using all green. I don't know, you have a huge stockpile of green training mods maybe, and this is what it's going to be. And you can kind of see here for the 600 energy scenario that to maximize the rest of the milestone, it actually doesn't change much between green and everything else. It's like, I don't know, what is this? 60k gold. I don't even know why I did it. Just to kind of showcase the fact that green is different from the other ones, and that's why I did that, in case somebody jumps down my throat for that. But otherwise, this is really not much of a difference. But you can see this is the total amount of training modules that you would need in these scenarios. So that's 23,600 of the green T1 mods. I just multiplied that by the amount of gold, which is 315. And then we got that number there, and then same for the blue, purple, and gold. These are the amount of mods you need, and then I multiplied that by the gold cost, which again is the same cost, and you get roughly just over, between 7 and 7.5 million gold there, if you're doing 600 energy. Now, if you're doing 1,000 energy, it's a bit less, which means that you're cutting out about 2 million gold roughly of what you need to do. Here you can see the number of green T1 mods that you need and all the other mods, if you're depending on which ones you're using. Honestly, I'm not going to mix and match here because it depends on what training modules you have, but it's close enough that you know that you need roughly this amount of gold in order to spend the training modules, assuming that you have them. Otherwise, if you don't have the training modules, you're kind of tough luck, I guess. But the good thing is, when we get to the bottom, I'll let you know about that one. So it's about just over 5.5 million gold here in both instances here, if you're spending about 1,000 energy a day, which is good. So basically here we get 51 milestone Scarlet Spider shards. This means that you can get this 51 shards by 19,200 points. Now what's good about this is you can basically get this from energy spending above. So if you looked at my 1,000 energy scenario, you get get about 28,000 points. Even with the 600, you're about 16,800. So you can essentially get the 51 shards from Scarlet Spider without actually spending training modules for the most part. It's just that it goes faster, I suppose, if you want to spend those training modules. And obviously, you need to level your characters, so this is the best time for you to do it anyways. But this is just for people who may be completely starved of training modules for whatever reason. Don't worry that you'll still probably get Scarlet Spider unlocked. This is part of the problem, though, because we are really only getting about a 2-star Scarlet Spider for newer players and, you know, people who may not be able to complete Pocket Dimensions. And that's why I kind of left this to last, because we are going to be talking about Pocket Dimensions, but I think it's a bit unfortunate that realistically, all the shards that you're getting from this milestone and the event outside of Pocket Dimensions is 51. And that's some of the worst that we've ever seen in any event of any new character to date, I'm pretty sure. We had a grand total of 150 shards for magic, and even that was considered a bit low. So if we consider the Pocket Dimensions here, there's some extra information. So we do get, or from what I understand, is that we get 1 shard of Scarlet Spider per Pocket Dimension node. There's 10 nodes total in it. That means over the course of 2 runs, you're getting potentially 20 more shards. And then you also get 55 shards from the Pocket Dimension second run, the timed run. We're going to go over that as well, which gives you a grand total, or a possible grand total, of 126. Now, if those 20 shards or the 1 per node is not available, then it's actually going to be 106. So you're going to be somewhere between 106 and 126, and that's just above 3-star. The reason why I separated Pocket Dimension from the actual milestone event was because, not like I said, you know, a lot of beginner players or some other players are not going to be able to engage in this. So for them, they're only going to be getting a 2-star Scarlet Spider. Everyone else, you know, who happens to be able to clear both runs of Pocket Dimension will get a 3-star, or just above a 3-star. And honestly, that's not very good either. This is some of the lowest amount of shards that we've got for a new character outside of like a Strike Pass, you know, where at least we knew we were guaranteed 100 shards. I'll say 100 shards. I know Silver Surfer was only 1 pass of the Strike Pass, but they did have an alternate method. But for other characters, they did get 2 Strike Passes, Polaris, Cap Sam, etc. So that was a little bit different, and everyone got 100. In this case, everyone's mainly getting 51, and some people are getting 55 or 75 more to get this grand total here. So I'm not super happy about this part, but hey, here's the math anyways. It's not that difficult, and that part of the event is pretty easy. In terms of Pocket Dimension, I do want to bring that up really quickly here at the end of the video, and so you can find that in the Dark Dimensions tab of the game, and if you scroll all the way to the right hand side, you do see this, and it says Pocket Dimensions. It's available, well, as of recording this video, I'm doing this really late at night. That's available on, I'm pretty sure that's Friday. That's basically Friday at store reset time. Kind of fancy here, and you can see some of the rewards, but to make it a little bit clearer for what the rewards actually are, it's a lot easier to go on to msf.gg, and that's exactly what we're going to do, and we're going to pull that up because the page is a lot more helpful in my opinion. So I have that preloaded here. So this is Pocket Dimension. There is one issue with my version of msf.gg for some reason for Pocket Dimension, is there's supposed to be 10 nodes, but my map only shows 8. It starts at mission 2 for some reason, and then it shows mission 8. I'm actually sorry, I'm missing 3 missions. This is only 7 of them. But what I do want to show you... Whoa, my god, my English. Anyways, what I do want to show you here is this mission 8, because this is as far as I can go. But it gives you a good example here, and you can see actually on the rewards on my screen, you get 1 Scarlet Spider shard. That's why I think you do get that, but that's not 100% confirmed. 150k gold per node, 1 training orb, and 5 silver promo credits, and some random other stuff along the way. You can see it here. There's different stuff on different nodes, so that's nice. But I want to click on node 8 here really quickly, just to kind of share with you guys what exactly is going on. Once it loads, we can kind of see what's going on there, and maybe I should have preloaded this beforehand. There we go, it brings it up, and so you can see that as you go through, you know, by node 8 anyways, you know, they have gear tier 13 characters, level 80, and actually someone was able to get into the final node, which I think had Ultron or something, and I think it was gear tier 14 characters. One thing I do want to mention, just like Tower Mode, they do have boosts, so all of these characters have an internal stat modifier of an additional 20% stats. So basically, it's not as hard as Dark Dimension 3 or anything like that, but what you see here, there's going to be an additional 20% across the board on all the stats, so do keep that in mind. And they do have blue ISOs, you know, once you get, I don't know what level it is that they start doing that, but they do have this, so keep those in mind as well. So even though it seems like it's gear tier 13, and they are, they're going to be a little bit more challenging than what you might expect out of a standard G13 character. They are level 80, and they are with blue 1, at least at level 8. And you can see from here, there's a total of, I don't know, what is this, 18 characters or something, 4, 7, 11, 15, 18 characters on this node particularly. So, and you can see the individual abilities. A lot of them are 7775. You can kind of see that. So if there are specific enemies that change, depending on whether or not they're level 6 or level 7 abilities, keep that in mind as well. I mean, I don't know every single character, but maybe like Jessica Jones, for example, you know, maybe Shake It Off. I don't remember what the difference between 6 and 7 Shake It Off is, but that might be important as well. So we're going to jump back, and we're going to go take a look at what's really important, and that's the completion rewards. So this is really important. I'm going to zoom in. Can I zoom in a little bit further here? And so we have the first run and the timed run. So the first run is a guaranteed 100 silver promotion credits, and you get all of this stuff. So 200 superior basic catalyst parts, 200 teal ABCs, and you get 20 of all the origin gear and 10 of all of the teal origin gear as well. But what I don't like, and this is a little bit of an issue for me anyways, is that the gear, the fully crafted gear that you guys might remember from the blog post prior to New Year's or Christmas or whenever that was, that is 8 random items from this pool here. So yes, you can get teal, fully crafted teal gear, but it's not guaranteed. You have the orange G15 fully crafted gear here inside the same item pool as the teal gear. So hypothetically, you could get 8 teal crafted pieces. Great for you. You know, you just won the jackpot. You could get 0. And you could get all of them in G15 gear. Now, for me, there's a significant amount of difference between a G15 piece and a teal T16 piece. Like, you have no idea the amount of gold difference there is because, frankly, we don't have a stockpile of teal gear. So the amount of gold value that goes into a single teal gear piece, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in another video. Like, we're talking like anywhere from 20 to 40 million gold per piece if you were to buy all that stuff out of the supply store. You know, I know that doesn't include things like the war store, but just straight out of the supply store, we're talking like anywhere from 20 to 40 million gold, and that's just an average depending on which piece it is. So that's quite significant compared to G15s where, you know, a lot of us already have the orange gear related to that. So that's just the first run. You also get 500 random catalyst parts, and again, once again, you know, you could get all or nothing. You could get all this in orange, and you might not get anything in teal. Completely random. Some of you guys might be familiar with how Dark Dimension 3 and 4 works in terms of the random items. Sometimes you get screwed, sometimes you get lucky. That's exactly what's happening here. Let's talk about the second run. So this is where the Scarlet Spider Shards are coming in. You get 55 guaranteed Scarlet Spider Shards, so that's only if you clear the second run. So that's a little bit of an issue as well, because maybe not everyone within 7 days. Keep in mind, you only have 7 days, as far as I'm aware, to complete this, that you might not be able to get that done. And especially like newer players or early mid-game players, that kind of thing. I would suspect if you have the right characters, a lot of more veteran players will probably clear this within a week, you know, as long as you're more cautious about one-shotting, that kind of thing. And, you know, I will have videos as the days go on as well about my progress through Pocket Dimensions 2. For those of you who are looking for that. You do get 150 gold promotion credits on top, but a lot of the other rewards, so instead of the silvers, you're getting the gold. Otherwise, a lot of the rewards look very similar. You're getting the same amount of kind of origin gear here, maybe a little bit more. I think it's 15 instead of 10. But once again, you're getting the 8 random items. So just like I said before, you could get 0 teal, you could get 8 teal, you could get a mix. You know, and so I don't like that. I think what it should have been, and unless it's not how it states here, I think it should have been half and half. It should have been just 4 orange, 4 teal, but you know, Scopely doesn't want to work that way, and they want you to pit they want to pit you against your other teammates, your other alliance mates, you know, compare what you got and what you didn't, and maybe it's going to facilitate some spending on the behalf of the people who got screwed out of the teal gear, and maybe that's what they're hoping for. I have no idea, but I think this is a bit seedy, personally. You do get a little bit more on the catalyst front. You get 625 random items instead of 500, but once again, it's random, and it could be all or nothing. You could get all orange, you could get 0 teal. Who knows? Or you might get really lucky. You know, if you guys go through Pocket Dimensions, feel free to brag to me if you get 8 teal gear pieces on each of the drops, on each of the runs. You know, I don't think I'm probably going to be that lucky. And who knows? Maybe I'm going to get a shitty piece. But you know what? I'd be happy with any teal fully crafted pieces, because for the reasons that I gave and how expensive it is and how difficult it is to get teal gear, honestly, even one piece I will be dancing for joy for. Now, if I get 0 teal gear pieces on any of my runs, I'm gonna be really fucking pissed. And so that's my first and probably only swear word in this video. But yeah, I do want to say how much I dislike that system. So there we are. Pocket Dimensions, we have the Fresh Horizons event math. I think that's everything. Like I said, we're not going to be covering Resolute Trait in this video. Do check out my other video, and I'll leave that in a pinned comment, actually, in the comment section below. I'll also leave it in the description in case you want to check it out, because I don't plan on doing another Resolute video unless anything changes between now and next Friday. I don't think that there has been any changes or any other reason to really talk about that. So, until next time, guys, that's the end of the video. Stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.